Hey everybody, welcome to the Homestead. What we're doing today is persimmons. We are gathering and harvesting as many persimmons as we possibly can. It's fall and the persimmons are falling from the trees. There are so many of them. Our trees are loaded with persimmons, and some trees are ripe, some trees are still ripening, and so they're in different stages. And what we're trying to do today is gather as many of these things as we possibly can. There are so many persimmons, and so we're going to go do that today. And I want to go quickly show you what is a good persimmon and what is not. Okay, so I'm standing next to some of my persimmon trees that we have here on the property, and like I've said before, I have what I estimate around 300 persimmon trees on the land, on the property, and this is just a few of them. So there's a grove of persimmon trees right here, and some of you, I know I've heard lots of people say, you know, I don't like persimmons, they don't taste good, or they're too gummy, or they're not, there's no sugar in them, or they don't taste sweet enough, or they're sour. If you've had a bad persimmon experience, I'm here to tell you that you can have a good persimmon experience by doing the following. There's two things you need to look for, okay? If you find persimmons on the ground, a lot of times you find good persimmons that are already fallen off the tree, ones that have just fallen. Those chances are those are a good persimmon. You can find those right on the ground. The other way that you find a good persimmon is by going to the tree and just giving it a slight, very slight shake. There we go. One fell. And so, see, let me go show you the persimmons that are up there right now. See those persimmons? There's all kinds of persimmons on that tree. This tree is not all the way ripe yet. I have a live trees where they're not all ripe. And so, let me shake this one here too. Let's see if we can get to fall on this one. Okay, so this one here fell. That fell. And see, a lot of people are like, oh, that doesn't look good. That doesn't look good at all. That looks rotten. See, people would normally pick that persimmon up because it doesn't look good. It doesn't look like the shiny fruit that we get in our stores. But I'm telling you right now, that is a delicious looking persimmon. And so you're going to take that. I'm going to take the little thing off, let that fall to the ground. And then I'm going to bite into this. That's a delicious persimmon. Good persimmon. The way you find a good persimmon, you gotta spit the seeds out, because the seeds are huge. Hold on. Okay. But it's very delicious. The way you find a good persimmon, like I said before, is you either find ones that have recently fallen that day or the day before on the ground, or go up to the tree and just give a slight shake to the tree, and whatever falls is ripe and ready to eat. If you give it too hard of a shake, if you shake the tree too hard, you're going to shake off persimmons that are not quite ready to eat, and you may get that aftertaste or that sour taste in your mouth, and that's not what you're going for. You want to go for the real sweet taste, and it's a slight shake, it falls to the ground, and it's ready to eat. So here are the persimmons we got today. We harvested 2 buckets full of persimmons, 2 5-gallon buckets. We harvested these in about an hour and a half, and so there are just so many persimmons that are out there. And you know, people who have had horrible experiences with persimmons, as I said before, just don't know how to harvest them. Some of these are good. Some of these are just perfectly, delicious. They're just very delicious tasting. And some of these other ones are maybe a little bit overripe or underripe. And really, it doesn't matter because we're going to be steaming these, and what we're going to be going after is the persimmon flavor. So I don't really care all that much about the sugar content, because these persimmons are destined for the wine bottle. These are going to be steam juiced, and then there will be a yeast added to them, and then we will be using these for wine fermentation. And so I'm not so sure. I don't really care. The importance isn't really all there for the sugar content that's in these currently, because I'm going to have to add more sugar to them for the fermentation process to make wine. Now, if you notice on these persimmons and most fruits, these as well, it has this white coating on them. And so you see that white coating? If I take my finger and I rub that, you see how it rubs off a little? Let's do it again over here. See that? That is natural yeast on the skin of the fruit. And in the olden days, they would take these fruits or any fruit really, that had that natural yeast on the skin, and they would smash these down and then just get the juice, extract all the juice out of that they could out of them, and then they would take that juice and use the natural yeast that's on that's on the skin of the fruit to make the fermentation, to start the fermentation process, which creates alcohol. And so that's how they would preserve it. Now, fruits back then, in the days before refrigeration and the days before pasteurization, they were destined for usually either two places. One, either they were dried and kept as food in dry storage, or they were fermented in some way, shape, or fashion. And a lot of that meant wine. And so that's how they would do it. For grapes, it's the same way. You notice on grapes, there's always that yeast that's on the skin of the outside of the fruit. And that's what started the fermentation process, because the yeast would interact with the sugars on the persimmon, inside the persimmon or inside the grape, and the yeast would begin to eat those sugars and produce alcohol, thus preserving the fruit. If you enjoyed this video, please click the thumbs up button below the video. It really makes creating these videos worthwhile. If you want to make sure to never miss a new video, be sure to click the subscribe button. Now you can get your homesteading questions answered. Visit us at our contact page on AnAmericanHomestead.com and send us your questions. Maybe we'll pick your question for a future video or article on our website.